Emily Carter had always believed in the power of honesty. Growing up in a small town in Ohio, her parents had instilled in her the value of speaking the truth, even when it was the hardest thing to do. Life had tested her on this principle many times, but never as much as it did the year she met Michael Harris. Michael wasn't someone you could easily forget. He had a quiet presence, the kind of man who didn't dominate a room but still drew attention with the way he listened intently to everyone around him. Emily first noticed him at the community center during one of the fundraising events she volunteered for. He stood in the corner, polite smile, helping to stack chairs at the end while others had already left. She admired that about him, the way he gave, without asking for recognition. They struck up conversations after that night. At first, it was small talk about books and music, then deeper topics like family, dreams, and regrets. Emily quickly learned that Michael carried something heavy inside him. He laughed less than most people his age, and his eyes sometimes seemed burdened by shadows no one else could see. Over time, Emily became more than a friend to Michael. She became someone he leaned on. He called her late at night, when he couldn't sleep. He asked her to meet him at the park just so he could have someone sit quietly beside him. Emily didn't mind. She cared for him more than she realized, and being his confidant felt like a role she was meant to play. But there was something Michael never told her, and Emily sensed it. He dodged questions about his past, quickly changed the subject when certain topics arose, and sometimes disappeared for days without explanation. For weeks, Emily wrestled with whether to press him or let him stay in his silence. Then one evening it happened. Michael finally opened up. They sat on a bench under the fading light, autumn leaves scattering across the path. He stared ahead, his hands trembling, as he whispered, "Emily, I need to tell you something, but I'm scared you'll see me differently." Her heart clenched. "Michael, you can tell me anything. I promise I won't walk away." The truth came out in fragments. He had grown up with a father who never believed in him, who dismissed his dreams and left scars deeper than words could explain. He confessed how he had quit college halfway through, not because he couldn't succeed, but because he didn't believe he was worthy of success. His failures, his fears, his self-doubt, they all poured out as if he had been holding them back for years. Emily's chest tightened with emotion. She wanted to reach out and take his pain away, but more importantly, she wanted to give him what he had never received, the truth he needed to hear. She turned to him, her voice steady but warm. "Michael, your past doesn't define you. Your father's words don't decide your worth. I see you for who you are, kind, selfless, thoughtful. And you're stronger than you think." His eyes glistened with tears, and for a long moment, he didn't speak. But the relief on his face said everything. Her words had reached a part of him no one else had touched. From that day, things began to change. Michael started taking small steps forward, finishing the certification course he had abandoned, applying for jobs he thought he'd never get, and even reconnecting with his younger brother, whom he hadn't spoken to in years. Emily stood by him through it all, cheering him on and reminding him that progress, not perfection, was what mattered. There were setbacks, of course. Michael sometimes fell back into doubt, questioning his abilities or fearing failure. But each time, Emily reminded him of that autumn evening when he chose to tell her the truth. She reminded him that his story wasn't one of defeat but of courage. Months later, at a local cafe where they often met, Michael looked across the table at Emily with gratitude written all over his face. "You know, if you hadn't told me what you did that night, I don't think I'd be here right now, not in this way. You gave me hope I didn't think I deserved." Emily smiled softly. "Michael, the truth is, you've always been enough. You just needed someone to remind you." In that moment, Emily realized that sometimes the hardest truths aren't the ones we keep inside, but the ones we must share with others to help them heal. Her words had changed Michael's path, and his courage had changed hers. Because revealing the truth isn't always about confessing secrets. It's about speaking the words someone else needs to hear to finally believe in themselves. And for Emily and Michael, that truth became the foundation of something lasting, something built on honesty, hope, and the courage to never let fear silence what's real.